Charles. Hello, Raymond.
Mrs. Wheeler, I'm so happy to see you again.
Well, it's good to see you, too. Isn't it a beautiful day? Oh, my, I think we'll have the ceremony out here on the fantail.
Very good, Mrs. Wheeler. I remember meeting Justin Marshall.
Oh, and you are definitely going to approve of his bride. She's a wonderful girl.
Ashley Linden, is it?
Yes.
Well, we'll do our best to make their honeymoon cruise enjoyable.
Let's get them married first. Oh, my, look. Oh, it is gorgeous. I must go and compliment the chef.
Go away! Dennis! Dennis, it's Elliot.
May I come in?
So, you've decided to have me locked away.
Hi, Mama. Oh, hello, sweetheart. I came home to have lunch with you.
Oh, didn't Beth tell you that I went out shopping?
Yes, but I didn't think you'd be gone so long.
Well, I wasn't exactly sure what I was looking for.
Oh, whatever it was, you certainly found it.
See? Isn't that beautiful?
What are those, honey?
They're blankets for a baby, Mama. All of these things are for Max's baby.
I understand. Believe me, I share your concern about Ryan Connor. But I can't talk to anyone except Mrs. Wheeler.
Why? Is she the only one you can trust?
At the moment, yes.
Iris must have forgot that key.
Hello, Vivian.
Hi.
Brilliant. Nice to see you again. Hello, Mr. Johnson. What are you doing here?
I'm afraid I can't wait any longer, if you'll excuse me.
Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, wait.
Fine. Just fine. I went after you the other night after you left the Top of the World Club, but I couldn't find you. I went for a walk. I went down to the garage and waited by your car for several hours. It was a long walk. I wanted very much to talk with you that night. Did you? Yes, I did. I gather you talked to Mom instead. I spoke with her. She tells me she came by here earlier. Yeah. Dennis, I know that you're upset about Paige. I want to talk to you about it.
Well, I don't want to talk about it.
Dennis, please. I don't think you understand.
Oh, I understand, Dad. You lied to me.
I didn't lie to you, Dennis. That's what I tried to tell you the other night.
Don't give me that. You took Paige to the boathouse. You knew exactly what you were doing.
That's true. I did take her to the boathouse. But I asked her as a friend. Nothing more.
Did you take her to the Marshall cabin as a friend, too?
How do you know we were at the Marshall cabin?
Doesn't matter how I know. You went there, didn't you?
Yes, we went there.
You love Paige, don't you?
I care a great deal for Paige. But you have to believe me when I tell you that I didn't know that until that night at the boathouse.
I don't believe you.
It's true, Dennis.
Then how come I knew before? How come it was obvious to me?
I suppose the truth of the matter is that I didn't want to face up to my feelings. It's not so unusual. It'd be wonderful if we always knew how we felt about the things that affect us most. But unfortunately, we don't.
I bought a blue one in case it's a boy and a pink one in case it's a girl. What's the matter? Should I have gotten everything in yellow?
No, everything's lovely.
We also got a rocking horse that's going to be delivered tomorrow.
Honey.
You know that Max learned how to ride before he could walk. He told me that once.
Yes, I know.
You and Daddy taught me how to ride before I could walk, too. Oh, Mama, you know that rocking horse that I used to have?
I remember.
Well, I went looking for it in the attic today, but I couldn't find it.
Oh, I think I gave that away when you outgrew it.
Do you know that the front bedroom on the corner, not the one that's by the driveway, but the one that's by my bedroom, do you think that I could redo that for my nursery?
Oh, honey, you can have any room in this house for your nursery.
Oh.
But you don't really know for sure yet if you're pregnant.
I'm sure I'm pregnant, Mama.
Sweetheart, I hope you are.
I've got all the signs and symptoms.
Rena, the signs and symptoms could mean something else.
What?
You've been through a very emotional and traumatic period. The sudden loss of someone you love, it's very hard to cope with.
It's not nerves, Mama. I'm sure of that.
You can't be absolutely sure until you've seen a doctor. Please, I want you to call Bart right now and make an appointment to see him this afternoon.
No.
What are you doing here, Justin?
I came to pick up Vivian, take her to the yacht for the wedding. Are you ready to go?
I will be in a minute.
What was Mr. Johnson doing here?
I don't know. You seem to be rather nervous about it. He was terrified at the sight of you.
Oh, I'm not nervous. I don't think he looked terrified.
Well, he sure got out of here in a hurry. What'd you do to him, Justin, to get that statement out of him?
I heard what you're implying. I can assure you, Mr. Johnson volunteered that statement of his own free will. I didn't threaten him.
I don't believe you, Justin. I'm going to find Johnson and get the truth out of him.
I want you to see a doctor, Dennis.
Why? So you can continue to see Paige without feeling guilty about it?
Dennis, we have to talk out your feelings about my seeing Paige. But before we can do that, I think you have to come to terms with your own feelings about Paige. And your feelings about me.
My feelings about you have never been a secret. I love you, Dad. And I'm not going to let Paige do to you what she did to me. It's that simple.
It's not simple at all.
Yes, it is.
Dennis, it's one thing to be concerned about another person. It is quite another thing to go to the lengths that you went to publicly embarrass Paige.
Paige deserved it.
No one deserves that kind of treatment. I know an excellent doctor. I met him at Gulf Coast Hospital when I was there. Stan Jeffries. I think you might like him. And I think he can do a lot to help you.
I don't need to see a shrink.
You're upset, Dennis.
I'm not upset. I'm angry.
Well, I just want you to see him once. Talk to him. If it doesn't work out, well, we'll try something else.
Yeah. And what if the doctor tells me I have every right to feel the way I do?
Well, then we'll both go see Dr. Jeffries together.
And what are you going to say if Dr. Jeffries tells you you shouldn't see Paige anymore?
Good psychiatrists don't tell you how to live your life. They just suggest some guidelines.
Does that mean you're going to continue to see Paige?
It doesn't matter what I plan to do. Paige refuses to see me anymore. Will you, at least talk to Dr. Jeffries?
Sure. I'll talk to him, sure.
I was talking to Kate the other day about Max's death, and she says that whenever God takes something away from you, he usually gives you something else as an exchange. Well, he took Max, but he gave me Max's baby. That's the exchange.
I hope so, Heather.
It is, Mama. I'm sure of it. Oh.
Sweetheartie. Oh, all right, come on, sit down. Do you feel faint?
No, I just got dizzy there for a minute.
What have you eaten today?
I can't remember. I had some tea and toast.
Oh, honey. Now, if I have Beth fix you some soup, will you please try and eat it?
I don't think I can, Mama. Ginny told me that soda crackers work for her. Maybe I can have some of those. Huh? It worked once before.
All right, now, come on. I'll get some crackers, but I want you to lie down here. Just for a little while, Come on. I'll be right back. Okay?
Okay.
Justin, I got your message. What's wrong?
You tell me.
What in hell are you talking about?
I went over to Iris Wheeler's to pick up the housekeeper. Take her to the yacht for the wedding.
So?
Guess who was there?
Well, how should I know?
Mr. Johnson.
Johnson? What's he doing over Miss Wheeler?
I don't know. I thought you told me he left town.
Well, yeah, I was pretty sure that he did.
You better make sure he leaves town this time. If Ryan Connor finds him, you and I are in a heap of trouble, Bubba.
Trouble? I hardly know him.
Don't you ever forget this, Bubba. If I'm in trouble, so are you.
All right, I'll see what I can do to hunt him up, but I'd like to know why in hell he's so old-farty important.
Johnson worked as an accountant here at World Oil. He discovered someone was embezzling company funds. He told Alex Wheeler. Alex had a stroke. The next day, Mr. Johnson left, right along with his work file.
So, nobody really does know who embezzled the money.
Exactly. Now, if Mr. Johnson doesn't blow it, Ryan Connor will take the rap for it.
Well, I'll begin to get the idea.
That's what that little item in this morning's newspaper was all about, the one that I showed you.
Yeah, but it didn't come right out and say he did it.
No, it suggested it. Right now, that's all that's necessary.
Damn it.
Philip.
Hello, Jim.
Pete, I was just getting ready to call you.
I guess you read the morning papers.
I thought you told me our boys had Johnson all taken care of.
I thought they had.
Thought they had isn't good enough now, Pete. Mistakes like this can cost us a lot. They could cost us even more.
Look, Jim, I don't think we have anything to worry about here. There's no way they can trace those missing funds back to us.
Maybe that Johnson statement's the best thing that ever could have happened to us.
How do you figure that?
Well, you know, if they pin the rap on Ryan Connor, we're home free.
And if they don't?
Jim, I'm telling you, there's no way they can trace us to Alex Wheeler.
Except for the fact that we do business with World Oil.
Yeah, but so do about 100 other companies. Hey, Paige Marshall's the only one who knows that I was with Wheeler when he had his stroke.
What if she talked?
She won't. Why should she? As
far as Paige is concerned, Wheeler died of natural causes.
Pete, I want you to find Johnson.
Jim, look, I'm telling you, there's nothing we can do about Johnson. I went to the firm where he was working, and he's gone. He's disappeared. You know, if it'll make you feel any better, I'll put a couple of guys on and see what we can come up with.
Yeah, I think that'd be wise. If I were you, I'd pay a little visit to Paige Marshall as well.
Okay. But I think we ought to be careful. I mean, the last thing we want is to make Paige suspicious.
So, if Ryan Connor takes the rap for this embezzlement scheme, well, then you get to take over World Oil.
That's right, Bubba. You get your hide out of here and go find Johnson. Right now, I'm going to get myself married.
I heard some of the girls' secretaries talking on the elevator. They said it's going to be a mighty fancy party.
No, it's going to be very quiet and very simple.
Are you going to invite all your good friends?
No.
Why not?
Well, there's just not a lot of room for a lot of people on the yacht.
Well, then, are you going to invite a few of your very good friends?
Bubba, you are not invited to my wedding, if that's what you're driving at.
Well, I got me a new suit over to the Metro Center shopping mall. It's green, and I got a string tie.
Ah. If you showed up on that yacht, Ashley would throw you overboard.
Well, maybe she wouldn't.
You know she would.
Okay, forget it. I just thought I'd ask. I've never been on no yacht.
Bubba, when I become president of World Oil, I'll have my own yacht. You'll be welcome on that one, okay?
What about Ashley?
We'll have a men-only cruise, Bubba.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the deal. Well, let me go. Good luck. You're gonna need it with that pretty little heifer.
I'll be just fine. I can take care of Ashley, thank you.
I'm coming. A minute.
Taking a little break from your afternoon's work?
I was taking a nap. Alfredo's off, and I work both lunch and dinner today.
I spoke with Elliot a short while ago. He's taking Dennis to see a psychiatrist at Gulf Coast Hospital.
Is he all right?
He's fine. Or he will be soon. Not that I think you really care.
You know I do.
Oh, of course. How could I have forgotten? You would care very deeply for Dennis now that he owns 1/3 of World Oil.
You know, you're going to have to forgive me, Iris. I just woke up and I really don't feel up to trading insults with you just yet.
I suggest you wake up very quickly. You're going to need all your wits about you while you pack your bags. You wouldn't want to leave any of your lovely things behind.
What?
You're fired, Paige. I want you and your belongings out of this suite and out of this building, and I don't want you ever to set foot in here again.
Haven't we played this scene before?
Save your smart remarks for your next employer.
Well, actually, it really doesn't bother me to be fired. I was planning on quitting anyway, so you've just saved me a little trouble. And as for the suite, well, I'll be glad to leave. Wouldn't be much use to me anyway, because I'm planning on leaving Houston.
Becky, I'm over at the Bellmans. Will you have Ryan call me when he gets in? Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Well, I thought you were sleeping.
I was.
How do you feel?
I feel all right. How's Ryan?
Ryan is in an uproar about that article in the paper this morning. Did you see it?
Yes, I did. Iris is really doing a hatchet job on him.
Rena, do you think that Iris gave that article to the paper?
The editor and Alex were very close friends. I met him several times at Iris's for dinner. I'd say that she made that call. Justin probably dialed it for her.
Probably. Justin and Ashley are getting married this afternoon on Iris's yacht.
I hope the damn thing sinks.
Me too.
Kate's not going, is she?
No, of course not. Justin called her a couple times this morning, tried to talk her into it, but she's not going.
He's really persistent, isn't he?
Well, I suspect that Ashley had a lot to do with that. She wants Kate's approval so badly.
I can't figure out why Justin is marrying her. Never thought he'd go through with it.
I think Ashley's pregnant. Well, the whole thing adds up. I mean, Justin talking about having a family all the time and then delaying the wedding, and now all of a sudden he's getting married right away.
Well, I wouldn't put it past her, honey. She thinks she's going to be the first lady of World Oil.
She might be, if Ryan can't prove his innocence.
Got here as soon as I could. Talked to a guy in the office where Johnson used to work and got his last address.
Never mind that. Johnson came here asking about Iris.
Where's he now?
I don't know. Justin came in here. Johnson took one look at him and bolted.
Did Justin know that Johnson was here?
I don't think so.
Did you get to talk to him?
No, he wouldn't talk to me. He said he would only talk to Iris. But he did say that he shared my concern about you. Ryan, there's one thing I'm absolutely certain of. Johnson is terrified of Justin.
Well, do you think he was going to tell Iris that?
That's a possibility.
I wonder if he'll try to get in touch with Iris again.
I hope so.
We got to find Johnson.
Now, wait a minute, Ryan. I think we ought to hire a private detective. Let him find Johnson.
Why, do you think Johnson's going to leave town?
No, not until after he talks to Iris, whenever that is.
Look, Ginny's over the Belmonts. I'm going to go over there and ask Stryker about hiring a private investigator.
Going back to Hollywood to make more movies?
I'm not quite certain where I'm going yet.
Are you taking Elliot with you?
Elliot doesn't know anything about my leaving, Iris.
Oh, that's it.
What are you talking about?
This is your little ploy to get Elliot to come running after you. How dramatic.
It's no ploy, Iris. I've already told Elliot that we can't see each other again.
It all sounds so noble. I only wish I could believe you, but of course I can't.
Believe what you like, Iris.
Oh, you've got something up your sleeve. I'm certain of that. But I'm warning you. If you're thinking of staying around and washing any more of your dirty linen in public, I would strongly advise against it.
Don't you threaten me.
I think I've been rather lenient with you so far. But Alex was an important man. He had a great many powerful friends, and if I have to, I will go to those friends and see to it that you are run out of town.
That won't be necessary, Iris.
I'll even use that film of yours if I have to.
You would too, wouldn't you?
After what you've done to my son, you know I would.
And what about what you've done, Iris?
What I've done is to save Dennis from the fortune-hunting likes of you.
Save him? You've destroyed him, Iris. You've suffocated and manipulated him at every turn. He is unable to stand on his own 2 feet.
He was a fine young man until he met you.
You've spoiled and pampered him for 25 years. Is it the act of a fine young man to bring a man from my past to the top of the World Club to embarrass me in front of his father? He followed Elliot and me from the boathouse to my family's cabin when we got caught in the rain. Are those the acts of a fine young man, Iris?
I don't blame Dennis for any of that.
No, I don't blame him either. Because he learned it all from you, Iris. If he's sick, it's because of you and no one else.
Be out by tonight.
Hello, Paige.
What do you want?
Just a friendly visit. I was in the neighborhood. Thought I'd see how you were.
I'm not in the mood for a friendly visit, Peter.
Actually, I was feeling kind of badly about the last time we were together. I thought I'd stop by and see if we could patch things up.
I don't really have time to patch things up, even if I wanted to, which I don't.
Come on now, Paige. You must be so unforgiving. It's so unchristian.
If it's all the same with you, Peter, I'd just as soon that you left. I have better things to do.
So I see. You going on a trip?
As much as I would like to stay here with my two favorite girls, I have got to get back to the office.
Well, we understand, Stryker.
Daddy, before you go, how's the lawsuit about the mineral rights to the ranch doing?
Good. Kate's got a strong case.
Does that mean that Justin won't be able to drill for oil on the ranch?
Not for a long, long time.
Oh, Stryker,
Yes, Jenny.
could you give me some legal advice?
Sure, what is it?
Well, a friend of mine is being terrorized by this man.
Terrorized?
I guess that's the right word. I can't think of any other one. He came over to her place and he was trying to kiss her and grabbed her and threw her around. And...
Ginny, who are you talking about?
Lurleen.
And Bubba Wadsworth?
Yes.
She's been afraid of Bubba since the first day she met him.
Why is he trying to frighten her?
Well, Lurleen thinks that he intended to rape her.
He tried to rape her?
No, Kate and I talked to Justin, and he promised that he'd try to keep Bubba in line, but...
Daddy, can't you have him arrested?
He hasn't done anything illegal, honey.
Ryan, hi.
Hi, honey. Well, listen, Stryker, Johnson just showed up at Iris's house. He wanted to tell Iris something, but she wasn't there. Grant sent for me, but by the time I got there, he was gone.
Where's Johnson now?
I don't know, but I want you to hire a private investigator to trace him. I just have this feeling that Johnson will be willing to clear me if we can find him.
Hope we're not working you too hard. What's the matter with you?
Do you remember the time you asked me to go on a cruise with you to Europe and to Greece and all those places?
Yes.
And do you remember why I didn't go?
Certainly. You told me you get seasick.
Well, I'm seasick.
Vivian, we're docked. How can you be seasick? We're practically motionless.
I know, but the boat is in the water, and somehow my stomach knows that. I can feel the rocking, even though it's very gentle.
Well, go down below and ask one of the stewards to give you something for it.
I'm not sure that's going to work.
Of course it will. You'll feel better in no time.
I'll be all right.
No.
Can I ask you something, Mrs. Wheeler?
What is it now?
Well, how come nobody's invited to this wedding? Don't they have any friends?
Of course they do. A lot of friends. They just want this to be a private ceremony.
Oh, that's a shame. It's not a wedding without all your friends.
They're planning to have a big reception when they get back from their honeymoon.
Well, if I'm invited, I hope it's going to be on dry land.
It is, Vivi. Don't worry.
I guess I'll go back downstairs then and check on Miss Linden while I'm at it and see if she needs any help getting dressed.
Yeah, you do that. Tell her I'll be there in a moment.
Oh!
Iris, I'd like you to meet Judge Hackwood.
We've met before.
Oh?
I knew your husband. We met one night at the ballet. And again one night at the theater.
I do remember. Yes, it's nice to see you again.
You know, this is all quite a surprise. I never thought this old boy would marry anyone but Rena Bellman.
Ashley Linden of Savannah, Georgia will take your breath away.
Well, I'm looking forward to meeting her.
Where is Ashley?
She's getting dressed.
Is Captain Rogers around?
I believe he's down in his quarters.
I should go and say hello. We're old tennis partners.
Right
Excuse
that
me?
way. Yes.
Did Vivian tell you about Johnson?
No, she didn't. What about him?
Well, he paid a visit to your house today.
What for?
Well, I can only assume he wanted to confirm the fact that the statement that he told me was the truth.
He doesn't have to do that. I've never doubted its validity for a moment.
I'm just surprised that Vivian didn't tell you about his visit.
Vivi's having a little trouble getting her sea legs. I don't think she was in any condition to tell me anything.
I just wanted to thank you, Iris, for all that you've done for Ashley and me.
I was delighted to have the opportunity. You know how fond I am of you both.
Well, especially of Ashley.
You will make her happy, won't you, Justin?
You bet I will.
I'm leaving Houston, Peter.
Oh?
Yes. Iris has fired me and kicked me out of the suite once again.
So the iron butterfly strikes again, huh? Where are you going?
I don't know. Doesn't really matter. All I know is that I'm leaving Houston.
Well, well. Leaving Houston. Did your problems with darling Dennis finally get to you?
It wasn't just Dennis.
No, actually, it makes a lot of sense for you to get away for a while. Do you some good. Just take a long trip. Maybe even relocate.
Don't worry about it. I'll figure something out.
Houston never really was the place for you anyway.
Could have been if it weren't for people like you and Chris Shaw.
Look, if it's all the same to you, I'd just soon not be lumped in the same category with all the Chris Shaws.
And if it's all the same with you, I'd just as soon you left. I'm really not in the mood for this conversation.
I'm sorry to hear that. I was going to offer to help you.
Yeah, no thanks.
Well, I have contacts a lot of places. I help you find another job, place to stay.
I don't need the kind of help that you can offer, Peter.
So proud. You know, actually, I could set you up rather nicely. Someplace exotic. I understand that Australia is the new land of opportunity.
You don't say.
Have you ever been there?
You know, Peter, there's something here that just doesn't quite add up.
Really? Why? What's that?
Why are you so anxious to get rid of me all of a sudden?
Get rid of you?
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, you were begging me to move in with you. Now you can't wait until I'm out of town.
I just want what's best for you, Paige. That's all I ever really wanted.
Well, what's best for me now is that you get out of here so that I can finish my packing.
Sure. Glad to oblige. When are you leaving?
I have to be out of here tonight.
You don't know where you're going?
That's right. The way I feel right now, it can't be far enough away.
Well, drop me a postcard sometime.
Thanks, honey. Did you tell Mama about the wedding this afternoon?
What wedding? Justin and Ashley Linden are getting married.
Well, well.
On Iris Wheeler's yacht, no less.
Uh-huh. I think that marriage will last long. If Ryan can find Mr. Johnson and prove that Justin's been framing him, Justin will be out of work.
He ought to be in jail.
He will be in jail eventually. All I want right now is for Ryan's name to be cleared.
I think we better put the air conditioning on.
Whew. The air conditioning is on, honey. It's quite cool in here.
If you'll excuse me, I think I want to go upstairs and lie down for a
I'll
while.
go with you, sweetheart.
No, it's not necessary. I'll be okay.
I don't think Rena's pregnant.
I don't think so either.
Did she tell you about her shopping spree?
Yes, she showed me everything she bought.
Ginny, did you suggest to her that perhaps she might not be pregnant?
No, I just couldn't upset her anymore, Vicky.
I've got to get her to see a doctor.
Well, I tried to talk to her, but she refuses to talk about it. You know, she could be pregnant.
If she isn't, she's going to be so disappointed. Jenny, I don't think she's going to be able to deal with it. I went to the stateroom to talk to you. You look beautiful, Ashley. Truly beautiful.
Thank you.
You also look a little sad.
I'm so scared.
Why?
Suppose I'm not doing the right thing.
You love Justin, don't you? Then you're doing the right thing. I talked to him a little while ago. He's very happy.
That's because he thinks I'm having his baby.
It's because he loves you.
Oh, I hope so.
It's true. And you have to start believing it. Oh, I know this isn't the wedding you've dreamed of. A ceremony in church with all of your friends and family gathered together.
Especially my mother.
Yes. A girl does need her mother with her on her wedding day. And I wish yours could be here for you.
But you're here for me.
And I'll always be here for you.
Ashley, you look gorgeous. Oh, this is Justin Atwood.
Hello.
I'm delighted to meet you. Justin is a very lucky man.
Thank you.
Now, are we ready to begin the ceremony?
I am.
By the authority of a license issued by the proper officer of the state of Texas, I'm about to celebrate the rites of matrimony between Justin Michael Marshall and Ashley Elizabeth Linden. If any man can show just cause why they may not lawfully be joined together, let him speak now or hereafter forever hold his peace. Justin Michael, wilt thou have this woman to be thy wedded wife, to love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep thee only unto her, so long as you both shall live?
I will.
Ashley Elizabeth, wilt thou have this man to be thy wedded husband, to love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep thee only unto him, so long as you both shall live?
I will.
Would you please exchange rings? Then I pronounce you husband and wife.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Marshall.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. Yes, darling. Wonderful.
Hello, Jim. It's Pete again. I just want to let you know that I've got some guys working on Johnson. If he's here in Houston, we'll find him.
Finding him isn't enough, Pete.
I know. This time we'll get rid of him for good.
What about Paige?
I talked to her.
And?
There's nothing to worry about there. She's leaving Houston.
Because of your little visit?
Well, she's got personal problems, but look, as I said, there's nothing to worry about. Now, once she's gone from Houston, she's not going to talk to anybody.
Come in.
I'm a little busy right now, Elliot.
I won't take up much of your time. I'm not here on my own behalf, if that's what you're worried about. I came here to discuss Dennis.
Come in.
Thank you. I just left Dennis at Gulf Coast Hospital. He's seeing a psychiatrist I recommended to him.
Is he all right?
I think he will be.
Good. I've been very worried about him.
Well, I think the fact that he agreed to see a psychiatrist is a good sign. I think he... What are you doing, Paige?
I'm leaving Houston, Elliot. Tonight.
Mr. and Mrs. Marshall, when would you like dinner?
An hour?
That'll be fine.
An hour will be fine.
Very good.
Oh, you want to turn on some music?
Of course.
Are you happy?
Yes, very happy. Are you?
Yes, I am.
Andy, tonight is really important.
Okay, what can I do for you?
When I get up there, I want a lot of fanfare, a lot of noise, stuff like that. Okay?
I got you.
And I want you and the rest of the boys to really whoop it up, okay?
Yeah.
Hi, Nita.
Hi, Billy Joe.
Who's looking after the baby?
Maggie.
Uh-huh. So, you came here to see Ricky sing his last night here at the Coop, huh?
No, I came to see you.
Me, yeah?
I came to give you these.
What are these?
I went to see a lawyer today. Those are divorce papers.
I'm leaving Houston, Elliot. Tonight.
For how long?
I don't know yet.
You don't know.
Well, I thought if I hadn't made my mind up by the time I got to the airport that I'd just go to the nearest ticket counter and buy a ticket.
So you think that's the answer, hmm? Running away.
I know that I ruin every life that I touch, and I'm not going to do that anymore.
Oh, Paige, stop this. I'm not going to let you do this to yourself.
I'm not doing anything to myself.
I'm not going to let you go, Paige.
My lawyer said that if you need him to explain to you what the
I don't need an
papers...
explanation, Nita. I know what divorce papers are.
There's something in there called a dissolution and a summons.
You guys get out of here. Get out of here. Go.
Sure.
Move it.
Come on, guys. Let's go in the back room and rehearse those arrangements for Elena for tomorrow night.
You shouldn't have done this, Nita, not without talking to me first.
Billy Joe, you just refuse to understand.
What do you mean?
I've talked to you about this, and I've talked to you about this. I've told you 100 times that I want a divorce. I don't know why it comes as some big surprise to you now.
It comes as a big surprise to me, Nita, because you don't mean this.
Oh, yes. I do.
No, you don't. No, you don't, honey. This is not you talking. This is the lawyer right here.
My lawyers suggest that you should get a lawyer of your own to handle this.
Sure, I'll get a lawyer.
Good.
I'm going to get one because I'm not going to give you a divorce.
What are you talking about?
What grounds do you think you're going to get this divorce on, huh? Mental cruelty or something like that? Anita, I've been good to you, and you know that. I've been good to you and Billy Joe Jr. both.
My lawyer says I can get a divorce because you've been convicted of a felony.
That was a long time ago, Nita, and you know I've changed.
Joe, it's just a formality.
You take them Papers back to your fancy lawyer, because I'm not accepting them.
Iris paid me one of her charming little visits this evening. She told me to be out of the suite by midnight, and she fired me from the Top of the World Club again.
Is that the reason you're running away?
I'm not running away, Elliot.
If it's a question of money or a place to stay...
I have plenty of money. I have money from the sale of my share of the ranch to Justin. That's not the problem.
Well, then what is the problem?
The problem is us, Elliot.
I love you, Paige.
Please don't.
Don't what? Tell you how I feel? I'm not angry with you. It's just this whole crazy situation. I'm just trying to get you to see what you're doing.
I do see what I'm doing, Elliot. This is the first right thing I've done in a long time.
Paige.
Dennis will be all right if I go away.
You're wrong, Paige. If you leave, it'll be the worst thing for Dennis. It's as if you're telling him that everything he's done has been all right. You love me too, Paige. I know you do. Is it so difficult to say? Paige, Dennis is making an effort to deal with his problems in a sane, rational, adult way. Why can't you do the same thing?
I am trying.
There's nothing rational about what you're doing.
What do you want from me, Elliot?
I want you to stay here. I want to go on seeing you.
And then what?
One way or the other, we'll work things out.
And in the meantime, we just throw our feelings in Dennis's face? Is that what you want?
I refuse to be guilty about caring for you.
Elliot, Dennis is your son. He's my husband. What do you think he's going to feel about this?
If you stay here, Dennis will come to accept it in time.
Why does he have to accept it at all?
Because I'm not going to let you go, Paige. I'll go after you.
Elliot.
No. I've waited too long for someone like you. And I'm not going to give you up now without a fight.
It is illegal not to accept these papers.
Then you'll have to have me thrown in jail, because I'm not going to give you a divorce. As far as I'm concerned, you can take these papers right on back to your lawyer and tell him where to put them.
Billy, don't get ugly about
I
this.
love you, Nita, and I know that you love me, too, and I'm going to get you back one way or the other.
This is not between you and me. I am doing this for our baby.
Don't give me that! Our baby needs a father. I know why you're doing this. You did it because Maggie and Ricky told you to.
No, that is not true.
Maggie never liked me, and Ricky had his eyes set on you from the first day he met you.
Nobody has persuaded me. I made this decision all by myself. In fact, Maggie tried to talk me out of it.
Oh, I don't believe that for a minute.
Hey, Billy Joe, they can hear you shouting all the way out there in the parking lot.
So you finally got Nita to ask me for a divorce, huh?
What are you talking
Only it's not
about?
going to work this
Billy
time, because
Joe.
I'm not going to be pushed around anymore.
Calm down, Billy Joe.
Maybe I just...
You stay right where you are, Nita.
What is going on here?
What's going on is Nita just asked me for a divorce. That's what's going on. But you're not going to get one.
with you.
That's right. There's no reason with me. Not about this.
My lawyer will be in touch with you.
I want you out of here, Decker, now. You're not singing at the coop tonight.
What are your feelings now towards your wife?
I don't have any feelings.
None.
As far as I'm concerned, I never want to see her again.
You told me that your father is seeing Paige.
That's right, he is.
Well, won't that make not seeing Paige rather difficult?
I don't think so.
Does it bother you that your father is seeing her?
Oh, come on, it's disgusting.
Disgusting?
No, it's not disgusting. That's not what I meant.
It does bother you, though.
A little?
Dennis, I think it's very important that you accept whatever reaction you have and not deny it.
I accept it. From the beginning, my feeling has been that what my father does is his own business.
Ryan, what are you doing here?
I want to know where Johnson is right now.
Ryan, Ashley and I were married this afternoon. We're on our honeymoon.
I know that.
It's a little after business
I want
hours.
to talk to him now.
I gave you his card. Why don't you drive over to Conroe to find him yourself?
Don't play games with me. I happen to know that Johnson was over at Iris's house this afternoon.
So?
So Grant told me that when you came over to Iris's, Johnson was terrified to see you.
The man was afraid of his own shadow.
You threatened him, Justin. You forced him to sign that statement saying that I killed the investigation and forced him to quit.
You're crazy.
Well, I don't think so. And I believe that Johnson was going to tell Iris that before he saw you.
Well, you go find him and ask him yourself, but get off this yacht.
I'm not going to stand by and let you destroy me.
Justin!
This is private property.
Justin, please. Please.
Why did he have to show up today?
Justin, why was Johnson over at Mrs. Wheeler's?
The nerve of that guy.
Sweetheart, what happened this afternoon at Mrs. Wheeler's?
Nothing. Johnson showed up, wanted to talk to Iris. Iris wasn't there. I showed up, Johnson left.
That's all there is to it.
That's it.
Well, what do you suppose that Johnson wanted to see Mrs. Wheeler for?
Doesn't matter.
Suppose he does talk to her.
He didn't talk to her and he's not going to.
Well, suppose he does.
He won't.
Well, now, how can you be so sure?
Bubba is going to run him out of town.
Justin.
Ashley, I wasn't going to tell you this because I knew how upset you'd be. Everything is going to be all right.
I don't like you involved with Bubba Wadsworth. I just don't like it.
Everything is under control. Come on, this is our wedding day. We're supposed to be celebrating. We're supposed to be happy. Look, you just forget about Ryan Connor. Forget about Johnson, Bubba, everything. Let's just have a good time, all right? In the wedding vows, I promised to take care of you. I'm going to keep that promise.
Now, I think you should both just sit down and talk about this like civilized human beings.
Civilized human beings don't try to steal another man's wife behind his back!
Don't say that again, Billy
Ricky,
Joe.
don't
Whatever
get into
trouble
this.
you're having with Nita's between you and her.
With a little help from you.
I got nothing to do with it.
Don't give me that, man. You've been waiting for this to happen.
I don't mess around with married women.
How about
you
once...
get that through your thick skull?
How about once they're divorced?
If you all don't stop this right now, there's not going to be another customer left in the place.
I don't care.
Billy Joe, you are the manager here, and you're acting like a little child.
No use, Ruby. He's not going to sing here at the Coop again. Not
Wait a minute, hotshot. Something you're forgetting is I got a contract with this club. It means I sing.
As far as I'm concerned, that contract went right out the window just as soon as you sent Ruby around here trying to get you a job at the top of the World Club.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you think you're a big deal now, don't you, huh? You think you're too big for the Coop. You think the whole world's your apple and you can just pluck it right off the tree. You think you can have anything you want. Well, you're not going to have my wife, so you get that idea right out of your head.
Call it! Both of you.
I want him out of here right now. Get him out of here!
Billy Joe, Ricky is not going anywhere.
Says who?
Says me.
I'm going to take you to all the corners of the earth. I already ordered a yacht. And when I become president of World Oil, I'm going to have a plane that I can use anytime I want, night or day. We'll have breakfast in London and lunch in Paris, and dinner in Rome. we may even run into your Aunt Hildy somewhere along the line.
Well, that's entirely possible.
You laughed. You're so beautiful when you laugh.
You are too. You know, the first time I saw you smile is when I fell in love with you. Did you know that?
Nope.
First time you came into the office and you smiled at me, I lost my heart.
You're not sorry about that, are you?
No, I'm not sorry. You know, I meant all those wedding vows this afternoon, too. After you took the obey out of it, anyway.
Well, I mean, if it's good enough for Prince Charles, it's good enough for me.
That's right.
When are we going to tell everybody you're pregnant?
Justin, we just got married today.
Well, I'm not going to start phoning everybody tomorrow. I just want to know how long we have to wait.
Oh, well, I think we ought to wait at least a couple months.
That long?
Well, I know that people are pretty liberal nowadays, and they think it's okay to get pregnant and even have children before you get married. But I'm still an old-fashioned kind of girl.
All right. All right, I'll just wait till you tell me it's all right to tell people. I won't say a thing until then.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that Jenny suspects something anyway.
Does that bother you?
Well, I don't want her telling people.
Oh, I don't think Jenny's a gossip. Besides, she's going to be so preoccupied with Ryan, she's not going to have time to bother with you at all.
Well, I suppose you're right. I guess so. What are you doing?
I think it's time for your surprise.
Okay, I'm ready.
Just space out there.
Out
Space
here?
right out there, yeah. Space right out there. You got to close
To
your
go.
eyes. No, you got to close your eyes.
Close my eyes. All right.
Close your eyes. No.
I don't know if I can do this.
Oh, yes, you can.
You know I have the word
Nope,
curiosity.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What?
Happy wedding day, Mrs. Marsh.
It's beautiful. What is it for?
It's for you. Because I love you more than anything in the world, and because you're the mother of my child.
I love you. It's beautiful.
Hello?
Sorry, we're all filled up.
No, I don't want a room.
What then?
Well, I want some information. I'm looking for Mr. Johnson.
He paid his bill and moved out 2 days ago.
Do you have a forwarding address?
Didn't leave any.
What about his mail?
He didn't get any mail here. Is he in trouble?
Why do you ask that?
You're the third person that's been looking for him.
Who else was here?
I don't know their names. One fellow was real sort of tough guy. Kind of stocky, smoked a cigar, wore a brown cowboy hat.
What about the other one?
Oh, he was real nice looking. Wore a very expensive suit, the kind you import from Europe. Talked real cultured speech.
Did you get their names?
No. Didn't get yours either.
Oh, I'm Ryan Connor.
Claire Beth Henry.
Nice to meet you. Listen, can you tell me how I might be able to find Mr. Johnson?
No. What'd he do?
Well, nothing. He just has some information I need. Thank you.
I just think the way you are handling this could be very bad for business.
I don't give a hoot about business. I'm losing the only thing that matters to me in the whole world.
I don't think you're going to lose Nita, Billy Joe.
What's this then?
Those are just papers, honey.
Right, for a divorce.
This is just temporary. A lot of things can happen before a divorce becomes final.
Yeah. Nita can move in with Ricky.
That is not going to happen.
You say that because you haven't been in Houston too long. You don't know how it was between Nita and Ricky.
Yeah, okay. I don't know how it was, but I know how it is now. And I'm telling you, you do not have to worry about Ricky.
If you really believe that, then you don't know Ricky very well.
I know Ricky about as well as two people can know each other.
I suppose that's your subtle way of telling me that you've been to bed with him.
Billy Joe, that is my way of telling you that Ricky has other interests. One of which happens to be his career.
Yeah, one of which, and the other one is Nita.
You know, you sound like a stuck record. Look, Ricky is a smart man. He knows his career is important. Now, if you just smarten up, you pay a little more attention to your own career and a little less to Ricky.
I already told you there's only one thing that matters to me.
Remember how it was back home in Waco? We had nothing. Now, we've come a long way since then. And with me as your manager, we're going to go even further.
What difference does that make if I'm not happy?
Honey, you're gonna be happy?
Not without my wife and my son. You just don't seem to understand it.
Don't you see? All of her life, Nita has had nothing. Now, with this contract that I got for you on the Phil Roberts show, you are going to be making a lot of money. That is really going to impress Nita. Every time she sees you up on that TV screen, she's going to be thinking about what she's given up and whether she's made a mistake.
Nita's not impressed with that sort of.
Honey, everybody is impressed with something like that.
Not Nita.
Do you remember how Nita melted the first time she saw you on the Phil Roberts show? That's exactly how you're going to get her back. Now I'm going to do it for you.
Ruby, just give it up, honey.
Think about it.
I'm glad I found you two. I stopped by Stan's office. I was afraid you'd left.
I was just about to.
I saw Iris's car in front of the hospital.
Yeah, it came to pick me up. I'm spending the night at her house tonight.
Oh, yes?
Yeah, she's driving me to the Gulf Coast Marina tomorrow, and I'm getting on the yacht.
Oh, going on a little cruise.
A little vacation, yeah.
Well, I think that's a very good idea.
Well, I guess I better get going. Doctor, thank you very much. I'll be in touch.
I'll be right here.
Dad, see ya.
So long, Dennis.
Dr. Hovis, 8-1.
Oh, Dennis seems much better.
I think he's going to be just fine.
He mentioned seeing you again.
That's right.
I'm very glad to hear that. He was so opposed to the idea in the beginning.
You've got to understand that Dennis is under a terrible strain. I mean, finding out that his wife was starring in a porno film, being sent to prison, and then the moment when it was all cleared up, moving on to a divorce. That takes an awful lot of adjusting.
Yes. Did he say anything about his feelings toward Paige and me?
I can't really talk to you about the details of what Dennis and I talked about. I'm sure you can appreciate that, Elliot.
Of course. What is your overall impression, then?
I think there's a certain amount of upset that is perfectly natural in Dennis's case, but he is handling it all very well.
Good.
Sorry, honey. Go back to sleep, huh?
Can't stop thinking about Mr. Johnson, can you?
No, I can't.
Well, you know, the private investigator will find him. Try not to worry so much.
Oh, I really want to try and figure out is who that mystery man is that Mrs. Henry was telling me about. I'm sure one of the men she mentioned is Bubba Wadsworth, but I just can't figure out who the other one is. Obviously, he has a lot of money, and I'm sure he's involved in that embezzlement scheme, too.
What would he want with Mr. Johnson?
Well, I'm sure there are only two possibilities. One is that Johnson's involved himself, and the other is he wants to make sure that Johnson doesn't talk to anyone.
What do you think?
I don't know. But either way, Mr. Johnson's in real big trouble.
Ryan, you don't think anyone will try to kill Mr. Johnson, do you?
I sure hope not. Maybe I ought to go down to the office and look over the list of executives.
Honey, you're meeting the private investigator at the office in the morning to go over that list.
I know.
Ryan, come back to bed.
I don't know what I'd do without you. Come here.
I know what you'd do. You'd spend all your time at the office and you'd never get any sleep.
Uh-oh. I forgot to take you to the moving picture show tonight, didn't I?
I know. We'll just go another time.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You know, I won't be able to spend the night with you when Steve comes home from the camping trip. Why don't we get married tomorrow?
I can't marry you now. It's just not fair to you and Steve.
Well, maybe I ought to go say hi to Ricky. You know, Wish him luck before his last show here. Don't bother. The show's going to start in a minute. Sit down. So how's Joe doing? Ruby? Nobody's listening.
He's doing fine.
Don't worry, Elena. Your secret is safe with me. We made a bargain, remember?
Yes. It's exactly why I'm here.
I told you I wouldn't tell anybody about your hiding Joe, and I won't.
I just assume not talk about it.
I just want you to know that we made a deal, and I am a woman of my word.
Oh, I appreciate that.
As long as you keep Billy Joe happy by singing for Ricky here at the Coop, your little secret is safe.
Thanks.
You trust me, don't you?
Do I have a choice?
Well, Elena, I don't think that's a very nice attitude.
I don't think what you did is very nice, Ruby. You come barging into my apartment and you find Joe that way?
You know, someday I would really love for you to explain to me exactly why you're harboring a fugitive from justice.
I think I'll go find Ricky.
All I can say is he must be awfully good.
That's got nothing to do with it.
He doesn't have any money. What else could it be?
Joe saved my life.
He also ruined your life. Twice.
You're just saying those things because you don't know him.
The gangster with the heart of gold.
He's a wonderful man. He's just had a lot of bad luck.
I'll agree with one thing. From what I saw the other night, he sure looked pretty wonderful. Don't rush off, Elena.
All right.
The party is just started.
Oh, you haven't left yet.
No, I was just about to.
I just came from the hospital. I thought you might like to hear about Dennis.
How is he?
Well, Dr. Jeffries thinks that Dennis is going to be fine.
Did you see him yourself, Al?
Yes, he seemed perfectly all right.
Good.
He's a little subdued, but I think that's understandable.
Are you sure?
Well, he's taking Iris's yacht tomorrow for a short cruise.
By himself?
Yes. I think it'll do him good. He can use some time to himself.
Oh, I'm glad. That's good.
I spoke with Dr. Jeffries also.
What did he think?
Well, he thinks that Dennis's feelings are perfectly natural, that they've probably been intensified by everything he's been through lately.
Well, they may be natural, but will he ever be able to adjust to things again?
Well, Dr. Jeffries seems to think that Dennis is handling everything just fine. There's no reason for you to leave now, Paige.
It'll just start all over again when he gets back, Elliot.
No, it won't.
What is he going to think when he sees us at the top of the World Club again?
For God's sake, Paige, stop thinking about Dennis and think about yourself.
I can't, Elliot.
Give us a chance.
I can't think about it anymore.
All I'm asking for is time. Time for you to see how important this is. To see that Dennis can accept it.
Elliot, go. Please, go now.
Paige.
Please.
If you go, I'll follow you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. You all know that this is my last night at the Coop, so I would like to get my replacement, my sister Elena Decker, to come up here and sing a song with me. Get up here, darling. I'm gonna do one of your hits. Come on up here. I'll start. I'd like to express this deep happiness that comes over me when you're near.
I feel light and breezy. My hardships seem easy, and I know I've got nothing to fear.
Ryan, you're not going to jail. Grant thinks Mr. Johnson will tell someone you're innocent.
Yeah, he's willing to tell Iris, and what good's that going to do me?
Iris wouldn't cover that up.
Come on, you really think Iris is going to tell anyone? There's not a chance.
The private investigator will find him and tell you and Grant and anyone else who wants to know, including Iris.
Jenny.
I'm going to marry you no matter what happens. So why not tomorrow?
I want our wedding to be a happy occasion. And I want to take you on a honeymoon that you can enjoy. I just don't want us worrying about whether or not I'm going to be going to prison.
Stop saying that.
And what about Steve? He's had a hard enough time accepting our marriage.
Steve's accepting our marriage, honey.
Well, I want to wait.
Okay. Well, wait. Three weeks.
3 weeks?
Mm-hmm. That's all I'll wait, 3 weeks. I'm gonna start making plans tomorrow.
You just don't give up now, do you?
Not when anything's this important. Will you marry me in 3 weeks?
Yes.
At the ranch?
Fine.
And we can buy our rings tomorrow?
1 o'clock.
It's a date. Oh, honey. Everything's gonna be just fine.
You really believe that, don't you?
Yes, I do. I lost you once, and I'm not gonna let that happen again. Not to anyone or anything. I want us to spend the rest of our lives together. Have children and grandchildren.
Oh, I want that more than anything in the world, you know that.
We'll have it.
I love you so much.
It's a perfectly gorgeous ring.
Oh, Iris, it's so nice of you to have this engagement party for Elliot and me.
It was the least I could do.
Well, we certainly appreciate it.
I also hope you'll use my yacht for your honeymoon.
Oh.
We'd like that very much, wouldn't we, Paige?
Yes, thank you. I hope you'll both be very happy. And when you get back from your honeymoon, I'd like it very much if you'd allow me to introduce you to my circle of friends.
Oh, Iris.
I love you, Paige.
I love you, too. Everyone, to the soon-to-be newlyweds.
To the newlyweds.
Hey!
Best wishes, sister dear.
Oh, thank you, Justin. Oh, Iris, I really wish Dennis could be here.
I'm here, Paige.
Hi, Dennis.
Hi there. I've got a little surprise for you.
Oh, Dennis, please, not the film.
You should be proud, Paige.
I want everyone to forget this, Dennis. It'll ruin me, please.
Everyone, this is Paige's Hollywood movie.
Oh, Paige made a film.
No, Elliot, would you please stop him?
Yes,
please.
everyone should
I'll lose
realize what a wonderful actress Paige really is.
No, Dennis, stop it!
You know, it's not everyone that gets to star in a pornographic movie.
It's a scandal.
A scandal.
Paige, you're a disgrace to the Marshall family.
You're a disgrace.
No!
I'm sorry, Paige. I can't ask you to
It's a scandal.
Disgrace.
You're shit.
How could you, Paige? It's a shame.
It's disgusting.
Shame.
I thought you weren't ever going to come to bed.
I was brushing my teeth.
For 10 minutes?
I was thinking.
About Billy Joe?
I should have punched him out when I had the chance.
And what would that have accomplished?
Would have made me feel a whole lot better.
No. You gotta understand, Billy Joe's upset because Nita brought him those divorce papers. It's got nothing to do with you. He brought it on himself. Don't let it bother you, Ricky.
It does bother me.
Maybe you're upset for another reason.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe you do still have feelings for Nita.
Don't you start in on me too, Ruby.
I'm not starting on you. I just think you should be honest with yourself. And with me.
Nita is just a friend, that's all. Hey. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be taking it out on you. You don't deserve that. Let's just forget the whole thing, huh?
Sure. What time are you setting it for?
8.
8? Why so early?
Well, I wanted to get up early and go out jogging before we had breakfast.
Oh, what do you want to go jogging for?
To see if I can run off some of this anger.
Well, what if I can take your mind off some of this? Would you stay in bed a little longer?
Well, I'm not so sure you're going to be able to do that.
I can try.
Delivery for Miss Decker?
I'm Mrs. Decker. Come on in. You can put that right on top of the table there,
Sure.
please.
You want to sign here, ma'am?
Yes.
No.
One moment, please. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I wish I could afford one of these for my little boy. I know you little fellas are going to enjoy it.
I'm sure you will.
Well, have a nice day. Yeah?
Same to you, sir.
Rena, who was at the door?
Come and see for yourself. Isn't it terrific? Don't you think the baby will love it?
Rena, you don't know for sure whether you're going to have a baby. I promised Max a baby, and I'm going to have one.
Justin. Come on.
Hello, this is Justin Marshall. I'm calling about the yacht I ordered. Yeah, I want you to move up the delivery date on it. No, I need it sooner than that. Come on. All right, then I want to rent one from you in the meantime. Right. You got it. You call me back at World Oil as soon as you can. Thank you.
You don't have to rent a yacht.
I'm not having our honeymoon ruined just because Dennis Carrington wants to use the yacht that Iris offered us.
I know, but Mrs. Wheeler explained how important it was that Dennis get away.
I don't give a damn about Dennis Carrington. Iris offered us the yacht for our honeymoon. I don't like her suddenly announcing that we can't have it, so we're just going to have our own.
Really doesn't matter.
Well, it sure as hell does matter. We've made plans. And now, suddenly, out of the blue, we can't use the yacht.
Well, Mrs. Wheeler already feels bad enough about it. Don't say anything to her. She's already embarrassed enough as it is.
Bubba, what are you doing here?
Justin, we got trouble. I can't find Mr. Johnson.
It's a big idea. You almost broke a rib.
It makes us eat and you almost give me a heart attack.
Well, I'm glad I haven't had any breakfast yet.
Serves you right for sneaking up on people.
Well, next time I'll remember that.
By the way, I saw you the other day on the Phil Roberts show. You were good.
Thanks a lot.
How long have you been working there at KVIK?
Oh, not too long.
You all right?
I'll let you know when I've had my surgical report.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you really should have said something.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Look, if I get any bad reviews tonight, I'll have something to blame it on.
I thought I might come by and hear you tonight at the Coop.
If you did that, you'd hear Elena.
Elena singing again?
Mm-hmm. I'm opening at the top of the world tonight.
Ooh, are you excited about it?
I guess I'm more nervous than anything.
Maybe I'll drop by and see you.
Sure. Bring your saddle along, too. Where were you going with this thing, anyway?
Well, you see, all my saddles are English. I saw this one the other day, and I thought I might have it copied.
Thought you might try a little Western style, huh?
That's right. I'm in Texas now. I think I should have a little practice riding Western. I took some pictures of it so I could have it made. I want one exactly like this one.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Well, it'd be a lot quicker if you just went down the road and had the guy who made this one make another one for you. In fact, I'd be glad to drive you down there if you'd like.
Oh, maybe later. Thanks, Ricky. But I want to ride before it gets too hot.
Oh, yeah? Does a city girl like you really know how to ride?
9 to 1. I can ride a horse better than you can.
Well, you think so, huh?
I know so.
You're on.
I am going to have Max's baby. I don't know why you can't accept that. Ginny thinks I'm pregnant, and so does Daddy. Why can't you?
I want to believe it too, Rena, but I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed.
I am not going to be disappointed.
All right, honey.
Oh, Mama. Oh, Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shout at you.
I know.
When Max was a little boy, his family couldn't afford to buy toys from the store, so his daddy made them for him. He used to paint them bright colors. Max was planning to do that for our babies. Oh, Mama, he was so good with his hands.
Yes, I know he was.
Max didn't get a chance to finish that solar energy project he had going with Steve.
Oh, Ginny told me that Ryan's going to help him with it as soon as Steve gets back from his camping trip.
Justin at the ranch? I don't think that's possible.
Oh, I think for Steve's sake, Ryan will be able to find a way to avoid Justin. Are you feeling dizzy again, honey? Come on. Here, sit down.
I'm okay.
You've been feeling terrible for the last few weeks.
It's morning sickness, Mama.
Well, Bart can give you something to help you.
Didn't you have morning sickness when you were carrying me?
No.
Ginny said that she had a terrible time when she was carrying Steve, but it only lasts for about a month or two.
But if Bart can give you something to help you relieve the symptoms, there's no point in being miserable, is there?
No, Mama.
All right, then why don't I call Bart?
Will you send something over?
Not without seeing you first. He's very careful about prescribing drugs. Now, why don't I call him, see if he can fit you in this morning schedule, and then I'll drive you over to the clinic.
You don't have to do that. I can go by myself.
I don't mind driving
Mama! I'll be all right.
Okay. I'll call Bart.
You told me Johnson moved from the Live Oaks Motel to a rooming house.
That's right, he did. He's checked out. He's gone.
Oh, terrific. Terrific. He's probably on his way back to Iris Wheeler's again.
Or maybe he's left town.
Oh, we just can't assume things like that. You go find that guy and put him on a bus to any place outside of Texas.
I have been trying to find him.
Will you try harder and succeed this time?
You hold on, buddy. I've been doing this as a favor to you. Now, don't you stand there and give me orders. I am not your servant. I and you are business associates, and you best be for remembering it.
Bubba, we're not going to be in business much longer if Johnson gets to Iris. Get moving and find that man.
All right. I'll look for him one more time. Ashley, congratulations. I am sorry I was unable to attend your wedding. but I hope you'll be very happy. Would you get out of here?
Good Lord, don't get that man riled up. He is dangerous.
Not to me, he's not.
He can do a lot to cause you trouble.
You just let him try.
Well, now, what's going to happen if Johnson does go to see Mrs. Wheeler?
Well, he'll probably go to her and say that I coerced him into signing a statement saying that Ryan Connor killed the investigation and drove him right out of World Oil. I have got to get Ryan Connor out of the company before Johnson shows up and ruins all the plans that I have made.
Well, you thought that item in the newspaper would get Ryan to resign. It didn't work.
I know that.
You know, Dennis and Mrs. Wheeler are on a lot better terms now.
So?
So, it's going to make it a whole lot easier for you to talk to him and get him to support you. All it takes is Dennis and Mrs. Wheeler voting together, and at the next meeting of the board, he's out of office.
I get the feeling that Dennis is not as dependable these days. He promised his support to Iris once before it changed its mind. He's always talking about what a great job Ryan Connor is doing as head of World Oil.
But can't you convince him that you can do a better job?
Maybe. Maybe. If I can get the other board members upset enough.
Now, you sure you're up?
Sure I am.
You know, there's nothing sadder than a bruised male ego.
Oh, well, maybe I ought to give you a handicap.
No, thanks.
You sure?
I'm sure. Where are we going to race to?
Well, I thought first we might race down the path that leads to the other side of the pond. You know where the pond is, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a stream at one end, and it's a little rocky, and it's pretty deep, but if you feel up to it, you can jump it. Or there's a bridge upstream.
I just hope I don't have to jump you and the stream. Dad!
Oh, are you saddling up?
Dad, I want you to meet Ricky Decker.
Oh, Ricky. Nice to meet you, Mr. Wheeler.
Max Decker was Ricky's brother.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry about that. I didn't know him very well, but he seemed like a very nice man.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
We were just getting ready to have a little race. Why don't you join us?
Oh, no, not this time.
Oh.
Oh, you know, I just thought of something. I was supposed to meet Ruby at the coop in an hour.
I knew you'd come up with some fine excuse.
Well, no, look, I'll run up to the house and I'll give her a call. I can meet her later this afternoon.
We'll call her from here.
Well, this phone's out of order. I'll be right back. Nice to meet you.
Nice, isn't he?
I suppose when Justin and Ashley get back from their honeymoon, Ashley will be moving her clothes in here.
Well, Justin's planning to keep the apartment in town, too.
Well, they'll spend more time there. When do they do back?
I haven't the least idea. With Justin, you never know.
Well, I guess I better start packing my things to move to the Belmonts.
What are you going to do about Steve? Are you going to put him in school in town, or are you going to let him continue out here?
Ryan and I talked about it and decided that we'd leave him out here in school for at least another year.
That means you're going to have to drive him out here every day and pick him up.
I know, but I don't care if he's happier.
All his friends are out here, too. And he's doing so well in school now. Well, here comes Lurleen all dressed up.
Don't you look pretty? Oh, thank you, Jenny. What are you doing all dressed up?
Do you have a date with Caleb early today or something?
No. I had a job interview. Miss Kate arranged it for me.
How'd it go?
Pretty good, I think. Is the job in Houston? No, in Marshall Village at the bank. They have an opening for a teller and a secretary, so I have 2 chances.
Well, when are they going to let you know?
Next week. I gave them your phone number, too, in case I was here.
Oh, that's fine. I better go put these in water.
Well, let me do that for you, Miss Kate.
No. You stay and visit with Jenny.
Come on, honey, let's sit down. I don't mind at all. I'm not used to wearing shoes like this.
How are you doing?
fine. I appreciate your taking care of me the other night.
Are you still upset with me about telling Kate and Justin about Bubba?
No. I suppose it was the right thing to do. I was just so scared.
Well, Justin said he took care of Bubba, so he won't bother you anymore.
I sure sleep better at night knowing that.
I'm glad.
Hi, Maria.
Hello, Rena.
Thank you for your condolence card. I appreciated it. How's your son?
I'll be so glad when school starts.
Oh, that won't be long, will it?
No. I understand that Steve and Buddy Jr. went on a camping trip with Buddy's father.
That kid was so upset about Max.
Max was like a father to Steve, wasn't he?
He sure was. But there's something to be grateful for. Ginny's going to remarry, you know.
Bart told me she and Ryan Connor are getting married.
That's right. Steve is very fond of Ryan. They get along very well.
That's nice to hear.
Is my cousin terribly busy today?
No, he's still with a patient, but he shouldn't be too long. Why don't you take a seat?
Thank you.
Okay. Hello, Mrs. Nelson.
I'm sorry I'm late.
That's all right. Just take a seat. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm a little tired and uncomfortable, but I'm all right. I will be glad when this one comes.
This isn't your first, Mrs. Nelson?
No, it's my third and my last. I told my husband if he wants any more children, marry somebody else. How about you? Is this your first?
This is my first.
First babies are very special.
This one's going to be very, very special.
What happened to the Jefferson place?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. He's backing out of the deal.
Oh, that's too bad. I really liked it.
Yeah, so did I. However, Vicki Bellman's coming up with a list of farms that just may be for sale.
Oh, good.
As a matter of fact, why don't we run over there right now and talk to her about it?
Right now?
Well, yeah. I mean, you're as anxious to get a farm as I am, aren't you?
Well, I am, Dad, but I've made other plans for this morning.
Well, isn't this a little more important?
I know what you're doing, Dad.
What am I doing?
Ricky and I are just friends, that's all. And we're going riding together as soon as he comes back from making his phone call.
How'd you meet him?
Met him at the coop.
Ah.
He's Elena Decker's brother. They alternate singing there.
In other words, he's a performer.
That's right.
Oh,
And a
Lacey,
very good one.
You know how those people live. It's a hand-to-mouth existence at best.
Hasn't proposed.
Lacey, this farm is as much for you as it is for me. I'd like you to be with me.
Dad, I can go looking at places with you later in the week. We've been in Houston almost 2 months now. I don't see what the rush is.
All right. I'll see you later at Iris's.
Okay?
Oh, you leaving, Mr. Wheeler?
Yes, I am.
Well, you sure we can't talk you into going for a ride with us?
No, you can't.
Is he all right?
He'll be fine. My father just hasn't gotten used to the idea that I'm not a little girl anymore. Ready?
Ready. Let's do it.
You know, I really envy Justin and Ashley.
Why?
Well, Miss Kate told me they were honeymooning on a yacht out in the Gulf. Have you ever been on one, Jenny?
Yes, a couple of times.
If we'd stayed rich, I was thinking of buying a yacht.
Oh, you were? Well, I can think of a lot of things I'd rather have.
Me too.
Elaine, if you'd like to reconsider going back to college rather than working for a year, as I said before, I'd be more than happy to lend you the money.
I think it'll work out better this way. My granddaddy hadn't been feeling too well, and I'd rather be around to look after him.
Okay. But let me know if you change your mind, okay?
I will. Thanks.
Well, it's almost time to start thinking about lunch. Jenny, are you going to take Songbird out for a workout?
Gee, no, I don't really have time. I have to get back to town.
Oh, are you going to look at furniture today?
Yes, for the living room. Rena's going to go with me.
Oh, is she going to help you decorate your new house?
She said she would.
Is she going to move back to the cabin or stay with her parents in town?
I really don't know. I'm not even sure that she knows yet either.
Well, if she's pregnant, I imagine she'll stay in town.
Is Rena going to have Max's baby?
She certainly hopes so.
Would you like something to read?
No, thank you.
Yes, Doctor? Oh, I have the chart right here. I'll bring it in.
How old are your children?
Oh, they're 7 and 3, both boys. I'm dying for a little girl. It's not easy living in a house full of guys.
I guess it wouldn't be.
I guess since this is your first, you must feel a little anxious.
A little.
Well, don't be. No matter how tired and miserable you feel, don't let it get you down. It is nothing compared to the joy the kids will bring you and your husband. Mrs. Nelson, the doctor's ready to see you now. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
You about ready to get up?
I sure am. Hello, boys.
Hi, Mom.
What do you think of your little sister? Now listen, you guys are going to have to be very careful with her. Because she's not big and tough like you are. Okay?
Well, they'll take care of Catherine Victoria just fine, won't you, boys? You coming down to breakfast with us? Well, let's get a move on. Come on, baby. Because John and we have to go look at some horses this morning. And when Marshall gets a little bit bigger, you come along with us.
Oh, Marshall and I are fine playing things.
We'll be back before supper. Maybe we'll have a barbecue.
Honey, we have got to teach these kids to eat more than beef.
Come on. Say goodbye to your sister, Catherine Victoria. Tell her we'll see her a little bit later.
See you a little bit later.
I like the front lawn, but if you want to be married down by the pond, that's fine too. It's awful pretty down there.
I wonder what Justin's going to say about my marrying Ryan out here.
Now, if you want to be married out here, you leave Justin to me. Don't you worry about him.
Okay, I'll talk to Ryan again and we'll let you know.
When do you plan on having the ceremony?
Oh, I guess in about 3 weeks. We haven't really set a definite date because Ryan wants to get this mess at World Oil with Justin cleared up first.
Well, I can't blame him for wanting to wait.
When Steve comes back from his camping trip, I won't be able to stay in town with Ryan anymore.
No, you won't.
Just hate to leave him alone right now, Kate.
I understand.
Do you object to my staying with Ryan before we're married?
No. Despite what Justin thinks, I am changing a little with the times.
Well, listen, I have to go to the cabin and pick up Rena's checkbook and bank statement for her.
Then will you go straight back to town? All right, thank you for coming out.
I'll call you tonight. Did Jenny go back to town?
Yes, she did. Hi, I'm going to go down to the corral. You want to come with me?
Oh, not dressed like this. I have to go home and change.
Well, I guess I'll ride along with you. If you let me drive, you go too fast.
I can go by myself and be back in 10 minutes.
I don't know if I want you going back to your grandfather's place alone.
It's Bubba Wadsworth you're worried about. Don't be.
Well, I am.
You told me that Justin would take care of him.
I know, but...
Jenny said that Bubba is more afraid of Justin than the sheriff, the police, or anybody. So I'm not scared anymore.
Well, just the same, I think I'll go along with you.
Miss Kate, you have things to do. You can't spend your time treating me like I'm a 5-year-old. Everything's all right. And you go down to the corral, and I'll meet you down there, okay?
Please come in, Grant.
Thank you.
Can I get you something?
No, not a thing.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
Well, how is the search for Mr. Johnson going?
Oh, not very well. We have a private investigator working on it, but he hasn't come up with anything.
Is it possible for Ryan to prove his innocence if this Mr. Johnson isn't found?
Well, I'm not going to give up until we find him. I understand that Rena's doing much better.
Yes, she is. Although she's still having a very difficult time adjusting to Max's death.
Oh, well, I can understand that. Although we weren't very close for a long period of time, I'm still not used to Alex's death.
Yeah, I certainly wish Iris would find another way of dealing with Alex's death, besides seeking revenge against Ryan.
Oh, once he's cleared of any complicity with regard to that misappropriation of funds, she'll back off.
Iris doesn't back off easily.
I know.
Tell me, how's Lacey doing?
Okay. As a matter of fact, that's what I want to talk to you about, Vicki. Insofar as she's elected not to go back to college, and I know that the summer training program is over at KVIK, I was just wondering if you might have some job for her there.
I think it's possible.
She's a hard worker once she puts her mind to it.
Why don't you have her call me and we'll discuss it?
All right, well, now we get to the real point of my meeting here. I wonder if you and Stryker and Rena, of course, would join us for dinner tonight.
I don't think Rena is up to going out, but as far as I know, Stryker and I are free, and we'd be delighted to join you.
Fine. Top of the world, 7 o'clock?
Okay, fine. See you tonight.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Grant.
Woo! Well, I guess I'll never be able to show my face in public again.
Why? It was a draw.
Yeah, that's just the problem. I'll never be able to live it down.
You're a real male chauvinist. Worse than Jim Hampton.
Where'd you learn to ride like that?
On our farm in upstate New York.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're good.
Disappointed.
Impressed is the word. Does the rest of your family ride?
Oh, mostly just my dad and me. My brother Blake used to join us from time to time. That's about it.
Yeah? How about your mom?
Oh, she hates horses.
Oh, yeah? Well, then what does she think about your dad buying a horse farm around here?
My mother and father are separated.
Hey, I'm sorry.
That's all right. She lives up in Boston now. She's one of the reasons why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Dad needs a little space.
Yeah, he seemed like he was in kind of a bad mood when he left.
He wasn't exactly in a bad mood.
No?
Well, I guess he was, really.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask him if the two of you'd like to be my guests tonight at the Top of the World.
Probably wouldn't have been such a good idea.
Well, maybe
Maybe you could come down yourself a little later on in the week, some night, huh?
I'd like that. You're gonna be late. Meeting Ruby.
Oh, yeah. I almost forgot. Why don't I put this away for you?
I don't mind. Coming?
Yeah.
Rena!
Yes, Mama?
How are you?
Fine.
You were gone for quite a while. Was Bart called back to the hospital?
No, Mama.
Well, you were gone so long. Did you wait for the results?
No, Mama. Oh, by the way, if Jeb can talk Courtney into marrying him and moving back into Houston, Courtney and Bart are going to be expanding the clinic.
Well, I certainly hope they plan on adding at least 6 more doctors. The last time I saw Bart, he looked absolutely awful. He's so overworked. How did he seem to you today?
He likes being on the run 24 hours a day. He's always been like that.
Oh, honey, Beth made some chicken salad for lunch.
I'm not hungry. Where's the rocking horse?
I had Beth take it upstairs.
Oh. Has Jenny come back from the ranch yet?
No, but she's called and she's on her way in. She should be here any minute.
Good. I told her that I'd help her pick out some furniture for her living room.
She mentioned that.
Did she say whether or not she was going to stop by the cabin?
She was on her way over there when she called.
She's going to bring my checking book and bank statements.
Yes, she told me.
Maybe I have time for a little nap before Jenny gets here.
Rena, what did Bart say about the fatigue and nausea you've been experiencing?
Hi.
Hello, Jenny.
Ah, you bought my checkbook and bank statements.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Well, we better get going. We're running out of time.
Hold on, Jenny. I think that might be for you. Ryan called earlier. Hello.
Vicky, it's Maria.
Well, hello, dear. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Bart asked me to call. He wants to apologize to Rena for keeping her waiting.
She didn't seem to mind.
Well, she left before seeing him. He knows how impatient she tends to be. And he promises to see her at 10 tomorrow morning. He says he'll take her right away.
Thanks. I'll get back to you. Bye-bye.
Let's go, Jenny.
Rena! Why didn't you keep your appointment with Bart?
Hello, Laura.
I thought we had an agreement.
What agreement?
I told you not to say anything about me being up here the other night. And then you said you wouldn't. You've been shooting your mouth all over town. To Justin and to Miss Kate.
Bubba.
Justin has been giving me hell. And for no reason. I don't like that. I mean, I did nothing to you. Did I?
I have to go now.
I asked you a question. Did I do anything to you? No. No, I didn't. Except talk to you. Real gentle-like. Now, what did you tell Justin?
I didn't talk to Justin.
Will you talk to Miss Kate? And Miss Kate talked to Justin? What'd you tell her? That I tacted you? That I tried to rape you? Is that what you told her? Huh?
No, I just told her you scared me, and that's the truth.
And Justin's gonna get all kinds of crazy ideas now about what kind of person that I am.
I'm real sorry.
Are you?
Yes.
Well then, maybe there's a way you can make it up to me.
Rena, come back here. I asked you a question. I want an answer.
I don't want to talk about it.
You must. You can't ignore this.
Ginny and I have to look for furniture.
Honey, this is much more important.
Why were you dishonest with me?
I wasn't dishonest with you. I just didn't tell you the whole story.
Why didn't you?
Because I knew you'd be upset and I didn't want to get into an argument with you.
Honey, I'm concerned about
Well,
you.
don't be. I'll be all right.
Rena, you don't mean that.
If you just leave me alone, I'll be all right.
Rena.
You don't mean that.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong.
You're emotionally and physically exhausted. Now, if you're pregnant, Bart can help you. And if you're not pregnant, he can still help you. But you simply can't go on this way.
Your mother's right, honey. I know. Why don't we all sit down and talk about it?
Come on. Now, tell me, why didn't you keep your appointment with Bart?
Bart's gonna think I'm crazy.
No, he doesn't. Just thinks you were impatient, that's all.
Honey, tell us what happened at Bart's.
I started thinking about Max and how much he wanted to have children. How important they were to him. How happy he would have been. Oh, Mama, he would have loved him so much. You don't think I'm pregnant, do you?
I'm not sure, and neither are you. That's why it's so important for you to see Bart.
Honey, you could be pregnant.
Suppose I'm not.
You have to find out for sure, Rena.
I don't want to find out for sure. I want to hope a little while longer.
Mama, please don't. Don't.
You're not going anywhere, you little tramp.
Mama, please let me go.
You made a fool out of me, and I'm not going to forget that.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. If you'll just go, I promise I won't say anything.
Yeah, I heard that before, sugar.
I mean it. I won't say a word.
Oh, well, I'm not going anywhere, and you're not going to say anything if you know what's good for you.
Miss Kate is waiting for me down at the corral.
That's not going to work this time.
It's true.
Well, it don't make me no never mind. By the time she misses you, I'm going to be long gone. Now, what are you fighting for, huh?
Oh.
I mean, you want this as much as I do,
No,
don't you?
don't. You can have any woman you want, and why do you want me? You don't want me.
Yes, I do. My child, I want you. Besides, you owe me. And I'm going to collect right now.
My granddaddy
Oh,
owes
your
you.
old granddaddy is drunk as a skunk down to the Dewdrop Inn. He wouldn't care if he came here. Shoot, he's too drunk to care. Now, come on, come on. Let's go to your little bedroom. And if you try to get out the back door, I nailed it shut.
Afternoon, Bubba. You make one more move and I'll blow you from here to eternity.
You may believe what you like. As for the misappropriation of funds, I know nothing about that.
It's very strange, Mr. Johnson. You worked for 9 years without missing a day, and then all of a sudden one day you just don't show up without telling anyone. Oh, you sent a letter into personnel stating that you're leaving the state for family matters.
That's right.
But you don't even take care of any of your correspondence, Mr. Johnson. Your pension and welfare, your vacation pay. It's like a man who doesn't even care about the ordinary, everyday financial matters that
I
we all
had a
have
lot
to
of
deal with.
pressures on me at the time.
Well, it doesn't sound like you, Mr. Johnson. Not a man who seems to be as calm as you. No one will believe that. Certainly not your employer.
I admit that I discovered the misappropriation of funds at World Oil.
But I told Mr. Wheeler all about it. I just didn't want to be involved in any investigations after his death. So I just left.
Were you involved?
No. But I'd have a hard time proving it. That's why I disappeared. I left my work file. You can check with that for any answers you may want.
Your work file disappeared when you did. Tell me, Mr. Johnson, did Ryan Connor know about any of your suspicions?
I don't think so.
I think he did. I think he killed this investigation and drove you right out of the company, didn't he?
No, that's not true.
Sure he did. And you'll sign a statement to that effect.
I tell you that's
You'll
not
sign
true.
a statement, Mr. Johnson, or you'll go to jail. It's your decision.
Maggie! It's great to see you again.
Hello, Justin. Well, do we set up in here?
No, I'll show him. Listen, fellas, down the hall here, it's in the reception area. You see, through those doors at the end of the corridor. There you go. Well, now.
Tell me, do you have a book filled with people who owe you favors?
No, it's all right up here.
I bet you're not kidding.
Well, now, you're always looking for a hot story, aren't you, Maggie? And I said to myself, Justin, why don't you give this hot story to Maggie Hansen, the best TV journalist in the business?
And you're just handing it to me on a silver platter, is that it?
That's right, Maggie.
So I win and you win and Ryan Connor loses, right?
Well, if it turns out that way.
Do you really think they're going to make you president of World Oil?
It depends on how tough the questions are that you ask Ryan Connor.
Have you ever known me to ask soft questions?
No. No, but Ryan, he's a very good-looking guy. He may just charm you.
Oh, I never mix business with pleasure. You should remember that from our days together at KVIK.
Yeah, well, yes, I remember.
Are you sure Ryan Connor's coming back to his office tonight?
Well, my sources say he's due here in about 20 minutes. Do you have time to set up?
You bet.
All right, now when he comes through the front door, you just, fire away. Bye, Maggie.